Have you ever seen what looked like a crazy swarm in front of your hive in the middle of the afternoon, but it wasn't? I'm going to tell you all about it. Thanks for joining me today, friends. We're going to go back in time and go back to a time when it was much warmer, and we're going to jump into some hives. I'm going to teach you a lot of things from being outdoors in the nice summer weather. We're going to first tackle a project where we're going to try to see if the queen survived a Formic Pro treatment. Formic Pro is a treatment that uses formic acid, much like, similarly like oxalic acid. And so Formic Pro is pads that you put in your hive to kill the Varroa destructor mite. So I'm going to jump in there and see if the queen survived, fingers crossed. Then we're going to jump back into the tree and look at a swarm. I'm going to teach you how you can know how much time you have once you see a swarm either hanging from a tree, and you can look at the surface, and I'll show you how you can determine how much time you have before they fly away. And I also want to answer a comment that someone left on my last video that says, please define what exactly a swarm cell is. You showed one, you referred to swarm cells, but you never really told us beginners what exactly it is. Thanks so much for your very informative and educational video. So I'll answer this question in just a moment. Let's jump right into the summer. It's a break from all the cold weather. All right, that was heavy. Here's the Formic Pro strips. I would just like to see eggs. You know, I just like to lift some frames up, see if I can find either some, look how they've propylized the paper, but I'd like to find something going on here that shows that I've got active brood that's going well. All right, let's get those over to the side for now. Okay, that's just one frame of honey there. I had to put my gloves on. Bees aren't extremely happy with me right now, so we gloved up, suited up and gloved up. So let's see what our brood looks like. Okay, kept over brood. I'd like to see some larvae. Kept over brood. Let's look at the next frame over. Queen could be a little further down. All right, good brood pattern. That's being capped over. Now, if this is about to emerge, it could have been capped over 21 days ago. Or it could be capped over 8 days ago. So that doesn't really tell us a lot about the condition of our queen right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just capped over brood, so we don't know if that happened to be eggs laid prior to the Formic treatment or after. Let's look at one more, see if it'd be a determining factor. So what I'd like to see is at least see some larvae, I guess. Do I have to see the queen? Nah, not really. Wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't see the queen and I saw eggs, but I do like to see evidence that I've got a laying queen. So that means I've got to see eggs or larvae. A lot of good kept over brood though. Still not answering the question. Still just kept over brood. Let's look at one more. I think I got one more frame over here of brood. Bee bread, brood. Let's look at the other side. A drone, bee bread, brood, no queen cells though, which is a good sign. The only way to really tell for sure is to go down to the next box down. A lot of bees. Let's go for the black one in the middle. Got a lot of bee bread and a lot of capped over brood. I don't see any queen cells. Probably finding the queen would be challenging. Nothing much on that side. So let's look at another frame. Smoke everybody good. I'm gonna look at this frame. All right, so I did find larvae, so that's good. Let me see if I move some bees so you can see it here. But you can see there that I do have different stages of larvae in these open cells through here. So, everything's good. The queen did not perish. She's in there laying, but it's just a real crowded hive. And we might spot her on here. It looks like a swarm. You see bees going everywhere, flying like crazy in the sky, and you think, oh, they're swarming. Actually, they're not. This is just an everyday play flight. Usually happens for me between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. Then you can see all the bees just flying around and enjoying themselves. Just from this one hive, this whole commotion, you know. Just having fun. They'll all go back in. You know it's not a swarm because it's more facing the hive than going away from the hive. So you can see they're angled like this, and that means they're just taking play flights. So this is a swarm. Bobblehead David is here to ask you guys to please subscribe to my YouTube channel here. We are just about at 180,000. Pretty exciting. So thank you for subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything. You'll be notified each time I make a video. It helps me out a lot. So many bees in the air. I'm up in top of an apple tree about 10 feet off the ground looking at a swarm that has landed here yesterday. Wanted to point out some cool things about a swarm for you if you don't know. This swarm is about 20,000 bees, and it is interesting to watch. Right now, this swarm is actually doing a lot of waggle dancing, and I want to point that out for you. Is how this works is the bees that are out scouting for a new location are actually coming back and trying to persuade the colony to go a certain direction with that waggle dance. I'll point some out to you. Here's a good waggle dancer right down in here. You can see she's vibrating or waggling, and she's waggling that direction. Kind of for me, it'd be almost a southeast direction. There's bees watching her. She might even be kind of encouraging them to continue to watch for her directions, which way to fly and go. Now, if you watch, she's not real dedicated to do it waggle a lot. So a lot of bees have lost interest in her location. So these waggle dancers, they have to dance very ferociously to get attention and persuade the colony. Here's a waggle dancer down here, and she's telling everybody to go directly behind the camera. Well, a little bit that way too. And here's one here, trying to find a spot to do her waggle dance. This one is saying go directly behind David. So once they all decide on the way to go, they will swarm away. But right now, they have some that are giving different signals, different directions to go. So there's some that are saying that like this direction is kind of a predominant theme is to go off to my left, right here. So let's see if we see any different ones showing a different direction. Let's see, I saw some that were going south. But they're not real strong. They're not really dedicated to that waggle dance. When they get dedicated, they really waggle. There's a waggle dancer here. And you'll see, let's see which direction she wants them to go. She's trying to find a spot to walk and do the dance. Here's one right here, wanting them to go kind of toward the opposite direction, flying off toward to my west. Here's some up here. There's one there that was pointing to look like the southwest. But again, no real strong waggle dancers that you would just say, wow, look how crazy this waggle dance is. They're kind of puny on their waggle dancing. I'm also looking for the queen. I would love to see the queen, because then I would just pick her up with my fingers, and that way I have captured this swarm. But right now I know I have a little time to keep looking for the queen, because they are not waggling all in the same direction. They're going to eventually decide to go in one direction. All the waggle dancers will be persuaded to dance in that direction, telling them exactly where a hollow tree is, something like that. But as you can see, there's some waggle dancing right here. This is the waggle dancer, and you see the bees kind of getting around her and watching her. But again, she kind of faded out. She's not real strong. But I'm sitting on top of a ladder about 10 feet in the air, having a good day up in the apple tree. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's a real nice morning, real nice and cool. I'm shaded, and it's just kind of fun doing stuff like this. And I hate to lose this swarm, and if I can capture the queen, I can have the whole colony. Now, I also have time to put a box under here on top of the ladder and shake them down into that box. That's going to be another option I'm going to deploy here in a few minutes if I see they're getting closer to a common place they want to swarm to. But right now, just hoping to capture the queen, because if I capture the queen, I have a little better luck. If I shake them into a box, they can lift out of that box and just immediately decide to go where some of these waggle dancers are telling them. They might not be persuaded to stay. I could use things like a frame of brood from another hive to maybe glue them down. Doesn't always work. But if I can capture that queen and keep her in a cage for 3 or 4 days and get that colony nailed down into a box, I have better luck doing that. So I'm going to sit up here in the apple tree, and once I spot the queen walk by, I'm going to pick her up and take her captive. Okay, I'm going to answer the question about what are swarm cells for all of you that are new beginners starting maybe next spring, next season, and some of you may need a refresher. A swarm cells are created by the colony when they need to make a reproductive swarm. They need to reproduce themselves. They need to have a baby. And so what will happen is they will actually take fertilized eggs that are laid on the lower portion of frames, and they will draw out queen cells. Now, they do this by feeding the larvae. That all larvae gets royal jelly first 3 days of their larvae stages. After day 3, if they're continued to be fed royal jelly, then they go through a physiological change and they develop into a queen. Now, these swarm cells are actually going to produce queens, swarm queens. And so what happens is when they get almost capped over, these swarm cells, the old queen along with half of the colony will swarm away to a new home, and then back at the original hive where these swarm cells are, they will emerge. These virgin queens will eat their way out of their little cells, and they will actually fight. That's right. And they will fight and kill each other until there's only one virgin queen left. And when there's one left, she will, in about a week, go on a mating flight. And she will mate with 20 to 40 drones, fly back to her hive. And then she will be the new queen, the reigning queen of that hive for the rest of her life. So these swarm cells are produced by the colony in order to replace the queen that's leaving with the swarm. The old queen leaves, and these swarm cells will produce a new queen to take her place. I'll be speaking at the Midwest Honeybee Expo in Madison, Wisconsin this coming weekend. I hope to see you there. I'm going to be producing my live stream from there. And so that's where I'll be the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I hope maybe some of you can still register. Here's a link right here if you're wanting to get involved in that. It is a huge conference, a lot of great speakers there. Hope to see you there. Are you worried about the yellow-legged hornet or your viral destructor mites destroying your colony? Oh boy, I tell you, we had a great time at the live stream last week with Dr. David Peck talking and bringing us up to date on a new miticide RTU. You need to know about this one, and you need to know about the yellow-legged hornet. Check it out right here. Don't be left behind. See you over there.